It's cold, crappy, snowing. Yesterday was 70, and it's April. It should not be like this. It should be beautiful outside. Well, everybody knows in Wisconsin that we always get a couple of late snows. But it just really sucks. And that got me sitting there, not doing much, thinking, what can I do today? What can I do? I wish I was on a beach somewhere. Wish I had a greenhouse. Then it hit me. I'm going to turn that crappy old pool into a greenhouse. You all get to watch. Be back at you in a second at the beginning of the madness. Have a good day. Alright, so like I said, it's cold and crappy. It's time to put this together. So this is what I've done. So I had the pool, I took it all apart. I have a nice flat spot, you can see here. All this, where the old pool used to sit, nice and level. That's what I would suggest finding in the yard somewhere. You get yourself a nice good flat spot, otherwise you'll have to fill in underneath edges and all this other good stuff. And then from there, you can kind of see what I've done here. So I've taken poles that run around the outside of the pool, you guys here, and I've taken the tees, these here. Now the secret to this is you're going to have to bend these tees. You don't absolutely have to do this, but I would suggest doing it. Bend this tee here, right here, this one here, and also this tee here. With this tee, you won't have to worry. If you bend them, you won't have to worry about it being straight. So basically what'll happen is as it goes from here to here, it'll transition into a straight leg. It doesn't look like it right now, but when it gets set up, it'll be that way. And the straighter the leg is, the more taller it'll be, and rather than sunken down so much. It makes it for a little bit better greenhouse selection. So you can see I got everything all leveled out and everything. These are your 10-foot poles. So they are going to go from T to T. And what you'll do is put them all in there. Now if you got plain 10-foot poles, you didn't really like patch them together like I did. A couple of the ones that I had to do, like that one back there, was a little bit short, so I just patched down that piece to there. And basically what you're gonna have to do is drill and mark them all. And what I mean by that is I'll show you here in a second, but if you see the black line that I got on there, that there is going to insert into one of the tees, and I marked it off so that it was 132 inches from the inside right here all the way over to the inside on the other side, which would be right here. And 132, so you're going to want to measure each one, make sure each rung is in place, and at 132 inches for what I'm doing, whatever length that you choose to do would be the inches that you want to put in. So another thing that I did also is these legs slide in, and the nice thing about them sliding in is that you can adjust the height. We'll see all that good stuff in a minute. And well, I'll get the first couple of rungs in and we'll be right back. How's it going, guys? Just want to kind of give you a little rundown of everything and how things are going with this greenhouse made out of the pool. So I removed all the poles from the pool. I kind of piled the pool up over here. And then I took the top rung of the pool and I connected it to the tees. You can see the tees right here. Basically what I did is I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars from the top and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tees and made myself an arch. So you've seen the arch. So that arch then I took the top pole from a fence, a chain link fence. It's right here. You can use any different number of things, but I chose to use that because it's pretty tough and sturdy. Ain't gonna do anything. These I just kind of did for some extra support. They're not really necessary, but what they are is extra legs. I just ran them across, and I didn't put them on every single one. I just used them up and kind of randomly stuck them in there. Could have probably done a little bit better, but that's just kind of how she worked out. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna build these halves. So let's get back here a little bit so I can kind of show you everything. So build each half, and you're gonna wanna take out the little plastic plugs that they use, because a lot of times they use the little plastic plugs in here, and then you get some 2 1/4 inch bolts, and they fit perfectly through there, and you can see how tight they are. They are not gonna be anything extra sticking out to catch onto the plastic or anything. Yeah, they're nice and flush, especially once I get them tight, they'll be really flush. And then I just take the top poles and insert them. You're gonna wanna make sure that each and every single one of these is the same length from here all the way down to there. So the inside to inside measurement, you're gonna wanna make sure that this one, all your crossbars are going to be the same length. As long as you have the same length, everything will turn out and look about the same when everything's done. Now, one thing that we'll get to here in a little bit, when I get to the next part of this, is these legs here. So these are the legs for the pool. I will actually be inserting these into here. They go up through the bottom, and then that allows me to get some length, some height. So if it's a really, really hot day, I can open it up and kind of get some fresh air in there. As far as where I'm at right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything tightened back up. Go ahead and get all the rest of my crossbars in and get it inside the frame. Once I get to there, I'll get back to you guys. All right, guys, so get back to you here. So basically, this is how it should look when you're done. So you can see the 2 halves of the pool. You got one, oops, sorry, trying to do this. And then you got the other one. You got the legs, which are put down into the bottom there. And now let me get to that, what I was gonna talk to you about over there. So when I insert the legs into the pre-existing legs, you can see that I have no bolt in there. No bolt, no nothing. The reason so is that makes it so this can lift up and down. Now it's a little bit tricky to do one-handed while I'm sitting here, but with this being able to lift up and down in the summer, if it gets really ridiculous hot in there, I can actually lift the whole entire thing up into the air an extra, I believe it's pretty close to about 3 feet. It'll be close, and I'm not quite sure, but it's pretty close to about 3 feet tall. So one of the things that you're gonna have to learn, and I kind of explained a little bit of this earlier, but you see how this one's bent? The reason I had to have you bend this one is so that you get a straight down leg. Now, if you don't want to, if you have the ability to build a little bit wider, maybe a little bit shorter, or whatever, you do not have to bend these to do this project. I just wanted to have that kind of a look, that kind of a style, and so on and so forth. So the next thing we gotta do is either get the ends put on or get some plastic on here. It's pretty windy today, so I don't know if I'll be getting the plastic on or not, but let me show you something here. So what these are here is 1.5 inch PVC pipe. I cut about 1/3 of it out, sanded the edges, made it nice and smooth so it ain't gonna be sharp, it ain't gonna cut the plastic, but this snaps right on just like so. So you can see they come off pretty easy, and they will actually pinch the plastic on there. You can buy these at Amazon. I'll have the link in the description, but these are the ones that I homemade, and they're really cheap, and they actually grab quite a bit. You can see those ones on there, they grab. Where these are your Amazon ones. They have a little lip, and there's some heavier duty ones of these. These are the light duty ones, and you can see when these ones go on, they spin around no problem. They're pretty loose. Now the plastic will, I'm sure, will sure that up quite a bit, but these are going to be my main ones that are, once the plastic gets on these ones, they are probably not coming off very easy anyway. Well, we'll go back to the next part, and hopefully I'll have some plastic and maybe some ends built. Hey guys, how's it going today? Just want to give you a little bit of a heads up on where things are at on the Intex pool build and where we're going. So as you can see, I got the plastic pulled up. I got the zipper doors on. We'll have a link in the description for Amazon and where you can get these and these exact ones, so because they do work pretty well. As far as everything else, it looks like as you can see, I got the wood chips laid out. We'll get some stuff planted in there soon. Once everything's planted into there, we'll have a nice little video on there while we're doing that. Probably get some bachelor buttons, and I don't know, I might bring some raspberries and maybe even a tree or two over in this way, but the trees are going to be on the south side, so we don't have to worry about it shading out the greenhouse. So a couple of things that we could have done that I didn't do, something that I wanted to do that I couldn't, because of just some of the things that I did is, so I didn't build in the ends. I felt that it wasn't necessary for this small of a greenhouse. I did give it some support on the backside. We'll see that here in just a minute. But for right now, when you go to build in the ends, you could have used anything from just your regular conventional building material lumber, or anything to what I was planning on using was pallets. I was just going to lay the pallets across and attach them and build it all the way up, cut them to where I need them, and fill in the end with some pallets. But what I chose to do was to just use the whole piece of plastic. I had a big piece that I could have wrapped around everything and just sealed everything up good, so that's why we ended up doing it that way. Some of the things that I was talking about that I wanted to do that I wasn't able to do because of that, changing that little bit of a plan there, was I had mentioned that there was movable legs. So you could raise the whole greenhouse up about 3 feet. Well, because I wrapped the plastic around attached to the base, no longer am I going to be able to do that. Not a big deal, it would have been nice for some ventilation, but it didn't end up working out. So let's get on to how you could have made that. So if you would have attached the wood across here, you could have then attached plastic there and left a little flap to come down across here that would have been a temporary place. You could have ran a PVC pipe across there or something to hold it down tight, and made everything so that you were able to stand the whole thing up that 3 feet and get everything to go. You can see earlier in the video that the telescoping legs that I made, so you could just pick the whole thing up, put the pin in, boom, it would have stand up and made some great ventilation. There's no ventilation in this right now. We might do something about that later. It all depends on how hot and how nasty it gets in there. If it keeps this condensation up in there, we're going to have to do a little bit of something, but we'll see where that goes from here. So that is pretty much everything on the outside, so why don't we step onto the inside. So you can see some of the things. We'll start with the light here. We'll have a link in the description for these. These are the Mars Hydro LEDs with IR. They work pretty slick. I've used them for a little while now. You can see that it's even quite sun faded. They are pretty slick though. And let's kind of zoom in over to here. When we get over here, you can see how I attached it. So I just ran some strapping around and then bolted the strapping to the wood. Nothing exciting, nothing fancy, but it does the job and it'll hold it in place. You can see how I bolted it into place so it cannot move. As far as down here, all I did was added a spank screw into each side. So each one has one spank screw just to hold her tight. She ain't going anywhere. Those things are monstrous and they will hold just about anything. And then you can see the same thing over here as well. So you see that I got the sand floor. So the sand floor is here from the previous pool, the Intex pool that is now our greenhouse. And also the tunes. Gotta have the tunes. And that's pretty much it as far as the grow room. The greenhouse is going to be getting into tonight probably, and we'll get some stuff planted in here and we'll see where it goes from there. So before we go, just want to explain a couple more things. So you can see the zipper door. You can see that it has the zipper on both sides. You do have to kind of watch out for this extra plastic a little bit. You can clean that off and it won't be nearly as much of a pain. I don't have this thing on there the best as of right now. I need to work on it a little bit as far as like squishing it together and get it to stick real good. It's sticking really well, but there are some spots that I haven't pressed it real tight. Also, you can see this down here.
So what this is, just a heavy duty piece of galvanized pipe. A little thick, just something heavy to hold the door down so that even in some heavier winds it doesn't get too crazy. And that's about it as far as that. So I just want to say, make sure you subscribe below. Make sure you hit that bell for the notification. Make sure you do all the good stuff and sign up to our email. Check out some of our links in the description so that you can get the products that we have here. Most of the products that we have, I've tested. They work great. As far as that, make sure you come check out our new videos. We're going to have all kinds of things coming this summer. It's going to be wild, going to be crazy. We're going to have all kinds of new stuff, things that you haven't seen yet, things that nobody's seen yet, because I'm weird and I do weird shit, and that's what we do.